Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, I think we're gonna do, I don't know, a few things today. First off, I had the pleasure of introducing my kids to The Wizard of Oz. So they've seen Wicked. We saw that in the theater with them. And they were really interested in seeing The Wizard of Oz. So we showed them that movie today. I believe it was streaming on Max, HBO Max, and we showed it to them, and they were captivated. I was worried. I was like, a movie from 1939 opens in black and white. Are they even going to be able to get through that part of it? They did. They were very interested. And a lot of the black and white part, I think they were just like very excited to see Glinda, because Glinda's their favorite character from Wicked. And then we kept telling them, well, yeah, it's coming. So they were very patient. They're only 6 years old. They were very patient. They did so well. It was just awesome to see them watch one of the most ubiquitous, greatest films of all time, one of the greatest American fantasies of all time. And I don't know, I really loved seeing them watch that. That's one of my favorite things, is showing them movies, right? And it was just cool that they sat through a very old movie. I'm talking old, right? I mean, it's getting close to being 100 years old. Like, we're not that far away from that. And this movie is an Oscar nominee, an Oscar winner. It was nominated for Best Picture. I believe it won Best Song for Over the Rainbow, maybe Best Score also. It has some nominations and some wins under its belt, right? So that was just really cool. I really enjoyed that. Also, finished The Brutalist today. Had to watch it in 2 parts. Watched the first part yesterday. Watched the second today. Well, second and third, because there's like a little epilogue thing. Watched that, but the intermission was the breaking point that I did, which was around the 1 hour and 40-minute mark, somewhere around there, 1:38, something like that. And I really did like this movie. The funny thing was, though, so I'm an artist, and I'm taking a lot of art history classes and stuff. So you know about brutalism. You see it, and I went into this movie like, all right, ready to learn about this Lasco guy. I don't know anything about him. This will be exciting. Gonna learn about an architect I don't know much about. Turns out the movie's fiction, not real. This dude is not real. Adrian Brody's not playing a real guy. This is just straight up fiction. It plays very much like a biopic film. Not in sort of like a greatest hits sort of way, but I don't know, the way we're following a singular character, and the way that there's zero fantasy, zero sci-fi, just, zero dramatic thriller, none of that. It's just like, here's a movie drama, and it just, I don't know, it feels like a biopic. It's so wild. Not a real dude. Which is kind of funny to find that out. But yeah, I thought The Brutalist was good. I don't know if it's going to win Best Picture or anything like that. I mean, it's probably still going to go to Honora, maybe Conclave, maybe The Brutalist. I don't know, but this is kind of a weird year for the Oscars. I feel like there's a lot of coin tosses, or maybe 3 films that are up for it. Of course, when the movies win, everybody's going to be like, well, I always knew it was so obvious, blah, 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 blah. But, there's a lot of weird stats here this Oscar season. But anyway, The Brutalist really did. I enjoyed it, and I never felt like it was long, ever. But I did watch it in 2 parts, so maybe that's part of it. But I thought it was a strong film. Really liked it. If Adrian Brody wins, that's great. I'm gonna watch Complete Unknown probably tomorrow. It's now available to rent on digital services or whatever. So I'll probably watch that tomorrow, which means I'll have all the Best Picture nominees except one. There is that Brazilian film, which the title escapes me. Is it I'm Not Here, I'm Not There, something like that. So I haven't watched that. But anyway, what do we got? We're at the 5:32 mark. I don't know. Should I was originally thinking we should do a random ranking of Best Picture films, but I don't know. Should we? Should we just maybe we'll just go back there and talk about them a little bit? We're leading up to the Oscars, so let's just maybe talk about them. I don't know. Let's try that. I don't necessarily know I want to do a random ranking. This is just kind of a, hey, we watched The Wizard of Oz today with the kids. That was really awesome. Hey, I watched The Brutalist today. That was really cool. I really wanted to see The Brutalist in theaters so that I could experience an intermission in theaters. I still have not done that before. I've experienced many of them at home. With this one, I did just fast forward through the intermission. I didn't sit through the whole 15 minutes, so that was, I don't know. I really want to experience an intermission in a movie theater, and I have not had the chance to do that, unfortunately. The Brutalist, though, I guess what else should I say? Good acting. I liked old Jones. What's her name? Felicity Jones. I thought she was good. I thought Adrian Brody was amazing. I thought he was very good. If he wins, that'll be great. But again, I need to see Complete Unknown to see how Timmy Chalamet does. I did feel that Guy Pearce, who was nominated, felt a little costumey, a little acty. That whole, what do you call that? Like the verisimilitude, that realism was a little distant with him as compared to everybody else. But anyway, let's take a look at some Best Picture winners back there, shall we? So this is my Best Picture collection right here. I have every single winner so far. Obviously, I don't have the one that's going to win on Sunday. So right here after Oppenheimer, we're most likely going to see a Nora or maybe The Brutalist or Conclave right here. If it's Conclave, I'll buy it the next day. If it's a Nora, I'm going to wait for the Criterion sale. And if it's The Brutalist, I will pre-order it. But yeah, we're kind of in a three-way tie there, but most likely I think it's going to be a Nora is where I'm landing on this. And you may be looking at this saying, oh wait, no, he doesn't have all the Best Picture winners because I'm not seeing Coda anywhere. Coda is right here. Do you see that? This is an Oscar screener. So Oscar Academy members received this in the mail and they watched the film. So that's how I have it, because Apple never released this movie in America on any sort of physical media other than to various members of organizations that vote on films. So I have the Oscar version here. That's what this is, the Oscar screener from some Academy member. All right. What do we got? Some Oppenheimer. I don't know. What should I show here? Let's just kind of walk through here, see what catches our eye. Crash, maybe you don't like the movie. Obviously, maybe Brokeback should have won here, but Michael Pena and his daughter in the scene, amazing. Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest Best Picture winners of all time, and I will stand by that because, it is adapted, which I guess to me in some ways drops it down because I would prefer a straight for cinema, like a designed, a written for the screen sort of film. But when it comes to like every single category being utilized in a strong, amazing, exceptional way, Return of the King is fantastic. All three of those films are personally my favorite of the Lord of the Rings films is Fellowship of the Ring, but you can't deny it. You can't deny it. Gladiator is great. American Beauty came out in 99. There are a lot of great 99 films. Do you think American Beauty should have been the one that won? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. I've always liked this criterion of The Last Emperor right here. I do like The Last Emperor. Out of Africa is one of my least favorite Best Picture winners of all time. Not my least, but one of my least. Actually, maybe it is. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth with that and the movie Oliver. Oliver is another one. So like Oliver and Out of Africa are some of my least favorites. Platoon here, I got signed by Oliver Stone. Had the chance to meet him, and he signed it for me. Very cool. Tried to get him to sign a few more things, but he was like, nah, I think I'll just do one per person. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Let's see. Oh, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I met Haskell Wexler at a screening of Days of Heaven, and he signed this for me. This is just the slip right here, but underneath the slip, he signed it for me. And then he died like less than a year later. He seemed fine. I love things about the British royal family, so A Man for All Seasons, I'm a fan of that. What else do we got here? Marty, one of my favorites of all time, with Ernest Borgnine right there. You can see him winning Best Actor. It's a nice, small, simple film, and it's based off of a television show, one of those live-action old TV shows from the early days of television. Marty is wonderful, one of my favorite Best Picture winners ever. The Greatest Show on Earth was a big influence on Spielberg. All About Eve is great. Best Years of Our Lives is one of the greatest Best Picture winners of all time. Rebecca is great. Gone with the Wind is great. Actually, Gone with the Wind is the year that Wizard of Oz came out. It's a great year in cinema. But yeah, Gone with the Wind won. Wizard of Oz didn't. So I don't think too many people can complain about Gone with the Wind winning over The Wizard of Oz. Like, both of those are fantastic movies that have really stood the test of time. People still remember them. You say those words, and if you haven't seen the movie, you at least know what people are talking about. It Happened One Night. Just that, Bugs Bunny influence there. Grand Hotel's great because you have the multiple storylines sort of coming together there. Cimarron, I think, is considered one of the worst Best Picture winners to a lot of people. All Quiet, very emotional film. Broadway Melody is also considered one of the worst, but I really love it. It's actually one of my favorites. I'd probably put it in my top 15. And then Wings, right there. The very first Best Picture winner. Some people like to say that Sunrise is the first Best Picture winner, but the Academy, between Sunrise and Wings, because the categories were a little bit different, but the Academy recognizes Wings as the first Best Picture winner. So yeah, this is my Best Picture collection right here. You'll probably be seeing more of it down the road, especially like once the Oscars happen or once the Oscars are over. We'll dig into this a little bit more, and then especially when we add the next film after Oppenheimer, we'll see more of this collection right here. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video, talking a little bit about The Wizard of Oz, talking about The Brutalist, and then just all the Best Picture winners. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, especially if you stuck around to the end. That means a lot. It really does. I appreciate that. It's really cool. And if you watch the commercials, like the ads during this video, that means a lot too. That helps the channel out. I make a couple cents on each one of those that you watch, so that really means a lot. I appreciate that. Watching those all the way through, makes an impact, and I appreciate that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really means a lot. We're working our way to the Oscars. I'm very excited about that. Are you? Are you going to watch the Oscars? Conan O'Brien is hosting, so that gets me extra hyped for it. His absurdist humor, I think, is going to be a great contrast to the stuffiness of the Oscars. I can't wait. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.